You're now listening to Katana Beat.
Tired of the fussing, tired of the fighting, tired of the hurt, tired of the lying. Hey, I need me a break.
Katana Beat.
I can't keep bending, I might break. It's only so much I can take. Some days don't wanna be awake, but I keep smiling through the pain. No, oh, I keep smiling through the pain. No, oh, I keep smiling through the pain. No.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in again. Another Thursday, a beautiful day here in my city of Flint, Michigan. Welcome, everybody. This is Total Hygiene, and you're here with Miss Michelle Turner at Omni Orbis Church. This is a Rumbulous channel, a YouTube channel, a Facebook channel with Flint Talk. Today, I wanted to kind of take it easy and slow down and mention some things because there's a lot of things going on nationally in the news. We have, excuse me, I think that was me. We have just last night a visitor from where we had 5 police officers, 3 of which are no longer with us in Pennsylvania, and 2 are injured. As they were serving a warrant. I don't ask me uh, any questions. I'm just giving facts. That's what I read and heard during the Fox News live last night. There was I don't know how many usually serve a warrant. I don't know what was going on. Um, I opened up prayerfully today. We all in our right mind. We honor and appreciate good police work and safe, calm communities. Um, it okay, so being honest with you, I remember someone saying something about, and it wasn't to me. I don't know these people, but it did have me in question about where I stand and who I am and how people perceive me. So I just wanted to recap on this is total hygiene, and it's for the wealth and positive health of networking with our community. Um, However, some things should be and will be said by me um, along the podcast, along the way, because y'all know I'm going to say honestly where I am with it. And everything is not my business. So I don't speak on everything. However, with what happened last night in Detroit with honoring, I believe it was, I don't know what county, it doesn't matter. They were honoring Charles Kirk, I believe he was a minister of some sort. I never heard of him before. They say he was martyred. Um, the works that he did, and for what I could hear, it was all positive. I seen nothing wrong that he had ever spoke on. Um, and his family, No one deserves that. And I want you to know, on top of that, where they honored him in Detroit, we are in Flint. And there are some beautiful people here too. You've had people, and I have to do this because people be grandstanding and there's nothing wrong with it. And I noticed it because Jimmy Kimball didn't come on last night for speaking freedom of choice. I don't say I agree with all that joking and stuff. I'll be telling people, hush, hush, you know, shh. Because, feelings are very real, especially if it's your show and you running it and you paying for it. You know what I'm saying? And you can pick and choose who you want to host your stuff with your said money. So when did that stop being respected? Uh, But at the same time, when did we start being so sensitive? And I pray that I don't offend my anybody in my audience, including because I know I can be a character, but I still love you. I think I just kind of perturbed my bus driver, but we still cool. You probably don't think of it again, but look, he was a man, and it's like people are making him bigger than Jesus. I'm serious, bigger than I never heard of him. And I do get this though. And we all have to give respect to and quit losing your hair and your mascara over people being honored and respected. If I am in position, I'm sorry, to love and honor my friend, that's what I'm going to do. And I don't care who think and feel what about it because I felt that. It's not hurting anything. It's not wrong. He stood for some pretty strong, potent things. And because I stand on the things he said, especially about the rights of gender and how it can be over publicized or abused, um, or right winged, if you will, or left winged. I'm for what he was saying. Like, you know what you are, and you do know. I'm not knocking you. Why do you get mad when we say you are what you are? You can call yourself a book, but you're still a human being. And you know this. You can call yourself a spider or a bug, but you're either a man or a woman. But I'll call you what because it's a pronoun. But let me say this. I didn't know I was going to do this. I'm sweating. I was trying to read. Um, I don't feel. I'm gonna say to start like this. I don't feel my best. Let me share that. I don't feel my best. I keep it from my family. All I think my brother knows, but every time I see me act like he adore me, then sometimes he mad at me like he resents. But I think he know, and then my children, um, my health and me are seeing eye to eye. Ever since I started looking into the things that's going on with our health in the community, and I said that to say, hormonally, men and women are different. You can't change that. I don't care if you grow one or take one away. It's not going to change your hormonal balance. The estrogen, you got to take pills. The testosterone, I think there's pills. I'm not sure. I think you take pills for that too. Um, and that's why there's a difference. There is. There's a balance in the body of regularity for a woman and a man. There is more than just hormonal. The build is a little denser. Well, it's a little um, more fragile for a woman normally. Now, we can get as beefy as a guy if we work at it for normalcy. But as normal, um, like me, I think my shoulders are broad enough and my hands are fat and big. There's some features about me that people can pan on and talk about and stuff, but I know in my heart when I close my eyes and think to myself, I'd rather adore my glory, the hair on my head. I don't want to shave. Some people do. There's a difference. There is a difference. Our voices come out different. Men's voices change, and it hits a octave level at puberty, and women naturally begin to menstruate. There are things that are different in the way we perceive. The Bible tells you we're the weaker one because we're always the ones trying to reason things. That's why you get with your husband and he has a vision and you follow that. And he works out the preliminaries and the practical things within the limits and let her have free range within that. Because and it tells you don't worry about nothing because all up in that, she gonna work that out. And that's why we need to be protected because that's what we're gonna do. Amen. We feel the need so naturally. And it's a sense of euphoria. It's a sense of pride in being able to be a woman. Just like men naturally take care of us. Naturally. This stuff that's been taught to us to do different, saying age ain't but a number and sex ain't but a thing, that orgy stuff, can I say that? Or unisex stuff or whatever it is, um, that's not natural. You have to tear down you to comply with it. And when you don't deal with the issues in yourself that you're lacking, like if you don't fit in just right, or if you're tired of feeling this way or that way, and your best friend is the same sex, or things like that. Just like a pimp would play on your needs, so does the demonic sorcery of this sexuality demon, same sex thing. That's a fact. There is no comfort in that, only a sense of swelling up. It's the movement thing that you find comfort in, being bold enough to do and courageous enough to do. There's no relaxing in that. There are times, just like you do what you do boldly, there are times, um, and how can I say this? Because it's natural to be with the opposite. And that's just what I believe. And anytime you try to make it normal and then say it's against the law to voice that, something's wrong with that. Why is it against the law to speak the truth? And so when we speak against it, people get upset. And that's why I had such a respect for what I heard from Charlie Kirk. Now, I don't know. People were saying he was racist and stuff. I don't know all that. You know what goes with hanging with Trump. And I gotta be, I pulls myself away from, let me be me. I pulls myself away from, I don't follow people. I try to be observant, and then it's enough for me to have my own thoughts. Trust me. Um, I never talk down. Like I've always said, he's our president, and we now that he's there, we got to learn how to work with what we have. It's only American to do so. And I'm not trying to choose sides. We already a side. We American. If we don't learn, and while you swatting away what I'm saying, there's a reason why I'm gonna get to it. I'm sweating. Hold on. If you can't work with what you got and make it better, um, then maybe you need to get rid of what you got or sit down and readjust and go back and start working with what you got. Thank you so much. My producer. Uh excuse me. Yeah, I'm a little warm. I told you I'm not feeling well. Um, eyes all saggy and heavy like blood pressure. Forgive me, please. A lot of times when I come here, it's a sacrifice. There was times my producer would tell you I've walked here. Mr. John, am I lying?
Oh, no.
Yes, sir. Thank you. There's times I walked here because I look forward, not so much to podcasting, because I could do that on Facebook. I was doing it. But because I wanted to be accountable for what I say, because I wanted to get things across to people that were factual, because I wanted to be able to be effective and purposeful. And it meant something for me to be somewhere at a time where I felt I needed to be, other than just going from anywhere. Anybody could set up and do things, but I wanted to be a part of a team that works together for the community. And the reason I said all those things I said, I'm going to give you another example other than Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump, our president. But I'm going to go back to Mr. Trump because I haven't really touched on that. I got receipts, no names on this one, on a podcaster who searched me out filling his britches because I'm out here doing what I do. And I think it's important that we learn to work together instead of, like they're saying, we know it's wrong to demonize things and use tactics to gaslight and collect the crowd. That's not love. And today's title is Love Calls Your Name, by the way. Love calls your name. And the subtitle to that, if I was to have one, is What is your name? What your name is. Yes, I did intentionally. What your name is. What I want to bring out is people of influence. We control that narrative by following. And I was saying that to say Flint is a good place to live. We are the people. if we quit allowing people to tell us we're not about nothing and trying to live up to it. I seen when I had my accident before I stopped driving. I, and it's partly why I'm in no hurry, and I'm still not driving. I'm not kidding. It's a simple brake line. And it's something about getting behind the wheel of that car. And it's like I probably will see that again. I don't know. But I don't know. But woo, get back. I forgot my thoughts. I'm sorry. It kind of took me there. We need to remember that everybody is not going to react the same. You can see the character of a person in the time of need. And in a time of need, when an incident happened on someone's birthday, and I don't even remember the face. People were rushing to help. Well, not rushing, but they was trying to see what was going on. Why I couldn't stop. What was going on with me? I wasn't cussed out. I've never heard of this. You can't tell me God ain't working in people. Not just me. And this my city, my people. And I commend you for that. I say I love you. And I don't even remember who I'm talking to. But I'm telling you, they were men and women. I don't even know what their ages were, but they were grown. They was young. I call them babies because they were. Never mind all the things you putting in the air. Oh, that's because of this and this. And that. No, because there was ish. You just don't know what you're talking about. You know. Stop letting people tell you your name. You know, people even change their name. They live up to their name. Let me read this. When toxic people carry titles, beware. Okay? When toxic people, I'm just going to read this and may a blessing be on it. I don't mean nothing bad by it, but we're going to read this today and then we're going to carry on. Because I act like I'm sitting in my living room. It said there were 3 deaths and 2 injuries in Pennsylvania of police officers while serving a warrant. My first baby lives there. That's probably why I mentioned it. It is. We all know that the police, especially of the East Coast, are favored, yet all of America in their right mind appreciates good police work and a safe, calm community. Favored by who? Mr. Trump. Should I get in trouble for saying that? I don't know. Is it right or wrong? I don't know. I don't have an opinion about it. I just observe and I see. Um, is he somebody I would vote for? No. Is he somebody I would bash? No. I think he needs a sabbatical. That's my opinion. I think he needs a rest. Um, his intelligence team um, have an agenda, and he trusts them. And when he gets going, I know he's going. He's a force to be reckoned with. And when he believes and you've convinced him of something, so that when he gets going, oh, it's finna get done. And he gonna roll over whatever it needs to be rolled over to get it done. Now that's like a military move. I'm like, okay. So now that I observe about him. Whether a lot of it makes sense or not, I don't know. It's a little shaky to me, but that's a guy, and a lot of guys do that. But I don't know if he should be in that position to be that way. But anyway, it says our very own policeman right here, and I meant to bring some other in Flint have upheld this banner and withstood heckling and less than flattering remarks from some of the small media fanfare clouding for attention. And I'm being very serious. I remember just a year or so ago, they stopped some trafficking, but I ain't seen no parade for that. Don't you care about your kids? Because they was taken from here. I mean, where was the awards and the trophies for that? But you always talking about how they don't do nothing. I'm like, okay. So, uh, um, and how I see them out there sitting so our kids can get to and from school. Now, you have to take into consideration they're not Jesus. I said it. And they're not magicians. Ooh, I don't feel good. So things can still happen even with us watching. We're the parents. We are the parents. They are protect and serve. Okay, they police, they watch, monitor, and and enforce with their judgment. But we're the parents, and I'm not. Lord have mercy, I be feeling like I'm gonna be hated. I don't want to be hated. Okay, so um, sometimes the influence is a flex and a want to be famous by any means necessary. Uh, and I have receipts on a very cameraman who has sat in on enough city hall viewings and is not Mr. Jason. And I learned his name by watching. It's not him. That I'm talking about. And I'm making that clear. And they sat in on some viewings and some protests. And I had someone come at me with sexual advances. And y'all can tell by the way I talk and walk, that's not me. And I have witnesses. And the reason I'm finally mentioning it, because I thought it was all over with, because they went strong for 8 days straight, porn and all this, and I'm not responding. And then there's been an honorary person who's no longer with us that represents our hometown. So I never said anything. But you're going to disrespect me like I'm asking for it. And I didn't even know who you were and never knew about your work. That's how important you was. I don't know, but you know about me. Y'all need to watch who you follow, who you let influence you. Pearson Hood, Merle Hood, this Flint Hood, period. And what I said before, I was going to bring it up for a reason. This is the reason. If we don't stand together as a unit, it's going to fall apart even worse than what we think it is, baby. Let me say this as a parent. It's how you raise up your children and you learn a thing or two with once being married and then you watch the family fall apart and just one parent and another one over here, and then you have a broken home. And you watch how things scatter and weaken. You watch systematically. One may grow and soar for a minute, but it's not, there's trouble. There's always a lack. And sometimes people hide it, but even in the strong and the ones that stay together is a lack. Sometimes you have to, because it's a body ministry, you have to depend on each other. So watch this. And looking at, and I'm not talking about the podcast or the Mr. And the reason I never brought it up is because I don't want to put him on blast. I told someone I wouldn't do it. I told her I wouldn't. I promised her. I promised her I wouldn't talk to her. Let me rephrase. I lied. I promised her I wouldn't talk to her about it no more. That's what I promised. But I didn't put no strings on myself. I can do what I want to do, but it's not my taste. I'm the type of person I'd rather sit with you and talk with you personally with your sick, perverted self and let you know I'm not for bashing you. I'm just not. I'm not for giving you fame, even in the worst way. I'm not for uplifting anything about you. That's why I never mentioned you. So moving on, um, when toxic people carry titles, beware. Says, I don't care how right winged or left winged we are a city that connects as a body to work together, an adult through and then I'm thinking about the council. Yes, the name calling and the death threats that some people went through on our very council, city council, and the police escorts to a council meeting and the comedic airing and character and gaslighting. Um, and making a mockery of our city council handling business for the city. Ain't nothing funny about that, but yet it became something to look forward to just to watch somebody say point of order or and I'm telling the truth. Don't come for me because I'm gonna come back for you. Just to listen at somebody say something or get on somebody, nothing got done. Nothing. And that's when we should have said, and see, it goes to show when we don't stand together, everybody from the outside is making profit by putting it in the podcast, making cartoon images of it, uh, grandstanding certain people, and just all kind of things. But nothing got done for Flint. Nothing. No, they weren't joining together from out of town and other cities saying, "Come on, let's come together and come on to one of these meetings and see, let's work this. It's something. I'll bring see if you can bring a job or two, get some industries here, or no, no, they're gonna stand back. It's the same way we do in the streets. Why? Because it's a principle. It's a principality. It's a dark principality. And one of those things that it is mockery. It's gonna make a mockery of you. You setting somebody up to be burned, you're gonna end up being burned. You setting somebody up to look crazy, you're gonna look crazy. That's one of the things I learned in a broken home. That's why it's so important to stop bashing your own city. Every time I turn around, somebody saying something negative about and it's God told me in some things that ain't your business. I even looked at taking a vow of silence and talked with somebody at the library about it yesterday. Because I was like, Lord, me. And so before I do it, I'm looking into it and discovered a few things, about my family and why maybe my own sister resents me when I went away. And it's still going on today because I up and left and lived my life without looking back. People can be hurt. So, and I was gone. And you never, it's just things. It's just things. I patched up something with someone that ain't no kin to me, but somebody close to me who used to adore me and cried when I left and cried when I came back. I admitted the love I had for a friend and it jolted me. I said, that's your baby sister. And before God told me like a study to be quiet. That's a scripture. Just came to me. That's what that is. Study to be quiet. I've never been, though I don't speak around most people. I'm always thinking. I have my own that scripture is a commandment. What is your name when love calls? I told someone, I said, when you die and you leave here, hold on, you're going to get a new body and a new name. Who are you? Because the things you do here, you got your name. You got to stop and listen and not deceive yourself and see who you are. You can have a pervert as a school teacher and everybody love them. Oh, they got away with the kids and they never touched nobody on but they got all these young girls and never on school ground, you know. It might be just in porn, but he got to have like young women. They might be 18, 19, and 20. Never break the law with it, but just these fetishes. You know, you got to wear skimpy mini dresses and ponytails I'm serious. Or you might have a doctor always killing people, getting over on insurance. And I say these things because I've read cases like this. Cases where people work and make lots of money in their firms and stuff because they uncle run the insurance company and way over here, kind of like the thing I was talking about back when I first started about how people run stuff. Things be linked together. And it's how, oh my God. I know it sounds, I don't care. You better hear me. And I'm saying it because it's what I've observed. I pulled myself away from society long enough. You saw me do it. There was a turning away of the plate. I started drinking liquids daily. Okay. I ate when I felt like it, but it wasn't very often. Wasn't even after a couple of weeks, it wasn't even really a desire to eat anything solid. But what I learned and what I told my producer I was going to remember to bring up to you in that, I learned that I had high blood pressure and that if I didn't believe or receive what the Lord told me, I could have stroked out of here with a blood pressure of 153 over 129 or 128. And I found it out when I asked my ex-husband for some money and he told me no. So I'm going to say it, I don't care. I went to the blood bank and I said, I don't want to pay a late bill and I don't want to borrow. So I went to the blood bank, got some couple of $100, and that's how I found out because I had to lower it. And who knew? That's not somewhere I regularly go. I hadn't been there, and when I did start it about however many years ago, I stopped because it was putting a hole in my arm. And I haven't been back. I went back, blood pressure still high. I said, okay. And I just, I quit going. The thing I'm saying is the body normalizes how you live. It's hormonal as well as physical, as well as chemical balance. Okay. Everything is a homeostasis. It's a balance. And when you lose weight, even though I was supposed to be losing weight for a month, do you know that might have been just enough to make my body say, hey, because it's going to eat up the stored fats and all the other stuff that's in my gut and every other thing that can survive for a while. Beef can lay in you for 2 to 3 years or maybe 5, I heard. Other minerals and things from that too. And while it may feel like one thing, a bacteria may serve more than one need. It may not be good, but it may be leading to something bad up the road because they mimic each other until they become what they are, and we see it too late, like cancer, uh, COPD, uh, viral disease, anything make you more prone to stuff. I hope y'all following me. Do I sound clear, or am I know he's talking about on the microphone, but I know that there are times when you have to know your name. And a lot of people don't stop to say, let me read it to you like this. Okay. There is one of the readings that I'm sorry. I'm looking for when love calls your name. So I'm gonna have to go back in there because I don't know where it went. Because that's the one I want to read. Love calls your name. And it's right up under, because I had looked into a thing or two. I've been through it this month, y'all. And it made me do some soul searching for real and studying to be quiet. And when you study to be quiet, I looked up and saw I was so angry. And when I saw that I was angry, it was because I was dealing with some things that happened with me and someone I love dearly, who ain't even no kin to me. But I usually cut people off like and keep it going. But I'm so honest and I don't like lies, and I'm not going to lie to myself. And so even though you might mock me, hurt me, or talk about me, whatever you think of me, I'm going to be 100. I'm like, you know what? When I saw them, I said, you know what? You made me mad. And I don't approve of this, and that. But I still love you. It's been over 40 years. Don't mean we're going to talk. None of that. But my heart, if you need me, I will be there. I got love for you. But I'm going to make it so we don't cross that line no more. Because that was very close. You see what I'm saying? That disrespect, I don't tolerate. I don't play that. No, I don't play that. We're not going to play with that at all. Oh, my Lord. It is in Spanish. Y'all, I've been doing some things. And I didn't take it all day. Okay. And so, bottom line is, God has names like El Shaddai, and he lives up to it. Jehovah Jireh, the provider, he lives up to it. My name, my mama gave me, I live up to it. You understand what I'm saying? And everything that I've put meaning to my name. And when you hear that name, you know who they're talking about. And you have a perception. It ministers. All you got to do is say the name. Chase Bank. Dr. So-and-so. President Trump. My mom. My dad. My brother. My sister. Even though those are pronouns. There are names hold meaning and character. There's more to it. There's character that goes with the name. And with character comes a whole lot of other things. That is action. That is movement. There's life in that stuff. So names, they mean a lot. Amen. So in being that, when God told Abram, he is now going to become Abraham, father of many nations. He also changed Sarah to Sarah. She also became equally the mother of many nations. He didn't just change his, he changed hers as well. But okay. And then because they're one. They're one and and when he changed um the God of Israel from Jacob, and then he's the 12 tribes came from him. 12. Ain't that how you say it? And see, I want to look now. I get nervous when I can't pull up stuff because I ain't bring my Bible. I ain't bring nothing. And this stuff is in Spanish. I don't know. I was gonna print this out because I got information coming for you guys in book forms for those who sponsor and come along. And these editorials are for your children. Oh, yes, they are. And for parents to read them, to spend time with their kids. This is Flint. This is a Flint thing I'm starting. And we're going to speak the truth into our children. When we don't stand and take pride in where we are, we'll tear it down. Oh, just me and mine. We can't afford that. We already broke down. You can't see that? That's why I say we have to come together. So while we're nationally, we got Miss Neely and Mr. Neely, a couple. How many other people can say that? We got a couple. One city, one state. So much money brought here. We ain't never seen that before. People mad, and we have to also recognize that everybody, I taught my kids this. So I might as well say it because if they was to hear this, they could probably uh verbatim what I say. I said all grown-ups don't make good sense. And that's the truth. Everybody talking ain't making sense. I'm at the bus stop yesterday, and somebody I love dearly just came up and started cussing out about the bus driver, how they ain't giving out free tickets, and you having problems, and this and that. And you cussing them out for over there laughing and joking and enjoying their day because they got a job, they paying their bill. You mad at them for being okay. And where they supposed to did the bus driver didn't show, so. But you can't get mad at people for having their stuff together. It's not why it don't make sense when you know, even on the street level, if I know you and I come up, you coming up. And I don't care who don't like it. I'm by choice grabbing who I love, near and dear around me. So if the president was friendly with people and knew some people, let him show his love. Obama, he hated Obama so much it cast a spell on that man. But there are times when he does show love. Let him do it. You know, I even seen and witnessed false news that was released back in July about Mr. Obama being arrested. That's how far the freedom of speech went. Okay. And I can remember when a police officer called Mr. Obama a nigger and nothing happened. Okay. While he was president. So, and I'm going to leave this hot topic stuff alone because I don't know. But I'm saying that to say this. When Mr. Jimmy Kimmel used his time on his show entertaining people, that wasn't too sensitive. He's a comedian. He has a whole show. He does crack jokes. That's not out of line for his work or him. Nothing different. And I don't get it. I think y'all just being some bullies right now. You can't take a licking. I mean, what do you care? It don't change what you believe, what happened, your income, none of that. Why y'all picking on that man? And I don't even watch it. I was watching the news last night, I said, And when I did, I went to go see his spot, and he didn't come on because y'all took his show. Y'all tripping. Nah, you doing too much. You're doing way too much. Now you're messing with freedom of speech. And I get that it's your money and you can do what you want, but we have to keep ourselves in check. That's my whole point of this show today. We have to be quiet. Study to be quiet. We have to learn how to hear and truly observe. What's my name? What does love call me? How do I interact with love? You know, patience, kindness, gentleness, joy, happiness, long suffering, love. How do I interact with that? Faith. How do I, or do I even have a tolerance for the fruit of the spirit? What you talking about? What's your name? I couldn't find what I took time to write, and I apologize. That's Miss Michelle for you. I told you, pray for me. But we finna get ready to because truth be told, I'm gonna try one more time. Let me see. Whoa, that's not what I did. Truth be told, it was really good. And it led to some things. Um, it led me to, I never looked into, and I feel like I need to apologize for not being up on um everything. Uh it made me understand that what I do affects my whole family. And with that being said, I had my brother get upset with me once or twice, thinking um, that I was speaking more comfortably about something that he thought I was speaking on family. Now I'm gonna speak on me. And I don't normally do this. I talk in third person and I talk like I'm putting myself in other people's shoes, but now I'm gonna talk about me. It matters that I don't start a wave of failure because by right spiritually, because people, let me see, I didn't raise myself, I'm not an animal. And the way I was raised, you can see it in my mannerisms, the way I conduct myself, the way I walk, the faith, the belief, the traditions, all that. If I'm of sound mind, you can see it. That leads to, again, proclivities and things. Okay? Even from other people. So when you do stuff like that, is this the one? I'm gonna try this one. I don't know where this is. I'm still trying, y'all. Trying to slip in here and be slick with it. But you have to be careful with how you carry yourself. Um, oh, I guess there's nothing on this one. So there's no title to it, y'all. Because I had it on one thing and then it disappeared because I didn't pay my bill. I ain't gonna tell you no story. I don't care. I got a producer, so I don't have to do all that. What happened? It's a lot of these that seem to be blank, and I don't know how that is because, too, like I said, I have booklets and things, and I've been really studying hard for future next month to entertain you guys with more than just me appearing. And I'm excited about it, actually. So, because I really care about my content, um, I really need it for everything to be as it should. I'm not understanding why it is things are turning out the way they are on this. So I'm just going to leave this the way it is. Hmm. This is some interesting stuff, y'all. Soon as I leave here, it's going to come up. You know that's how it goes. Soon as I leave here, I'm going to find it. Then I'm going to get mad. Why I'm going to get mad, I don't know. But I need us to know that the way we represent ourselves has a huge impact on the world around us. That's why mom and daddy represent. You know, everybody was big when we were coming up. Even with parents who didn't know how to read or write very well or didn't finish school, but dropped out to take care of the family and stuff like that. That was a thing of the old and and because there was a thing about, and forgive me for saying, well, I shouldn't say forgive me, there was a thing called Black excellence. And you carried yourself with dignity and class, and you didn't fall away from that because of lack. You held your head up, you greased your elbows and your knees, and you wore your clothes clean no matter what. And you went to school and you actually learned. And when you spoke with people, you said what you meant. There was no not too many idle words. You didn't really talk to strangers, but and when we were coming up, nobody was really strangers because we had to work together. Being that we're all independent now, that kind of changed the narrative, and I get that. But the more I look around, and I was talking with a sister yesterday on the bus, and this sister she was a white lady. And we talked, and she was telling me how her house burnt down. Her and her husband was here, and she was living in behind something about she stayed near, I want to say Birch Run, and I'm thinking Burton, but I could have swore she said Birch Run. That's more like a Wassel or something. But and she's here, and it's mighty funny, Flint. You hold your head up, because every time somebody fall down, they come here to pick themselves up. Stop knocking yourself. Stop it. Stop. A lot of times they try to kick us because truthfully, people who are, what happened? I'm sorry. People who are incarcerated or whatever, um, get sent here and they live in other counties. And I asked another man, totally different than the woman. He was Caucasian too. And I remember fussing at him one time. He was talking all ghetto and stuff. I said, "You don't have to talk like that to talk to me. Matter of fact, I'm offended by it. You don't have to put on airs to get in where you fit in and talk to everybody. We all understand." And that's a stereotype. A lot of times people believe, and you can tell what they believe by how they act. And that's why you watch how you represent yourself. And grown-ups and kids, there should be a difference. So what I want us to practice, like Miss Michelle was practicing her diet and how I get up and get out, and I'm gonna get me another job. Pray for me. We are beautiful people. Oh, I keep trying to tell you. People are coming and they know you're giving and they know you're wholesome and they know you're loving. But they also know with that comes oppression. And people know you can be, like I said, you can be around a loving person and know how to push their buttons because you know their weaknesses. You know how to pull out their worst things that they're working on and haven't mastered yet. There's a thing called gaslighting. Some stuff my son was trying to teach me. I ain't learned it yet. And I probably never will. I don't care. You just gonna have to understand me instead of that stuff. Know your place, know your name, and study to be quiet. More listen and reason. It'll and not just a lot of people don't like quiet, and I learned this too. Before this nuance of activities that changed a lot of stuff came on, it just don't it come in waves, I told you. Um, there was a strong thing of people can't be in silence. I seen it for myself. I was in my 30s. I'm in my 50s now. I'm almost 60. People could not be alone and be in silence. It's something to that. So when they say mental health, they're not kidding. Watch how you love yourself, please. I don't know what else to say. People, we need to love ourselves. Um, we need to believe in ourselves. We need to understand that we're worth it. And when you represent, in other words, in Philippians 4 and 8, do as those before you and as you were taught. That's honoring your mother and your father, isn't it? I thought so. Yep, that's what that is. And you will be blessed. You shall be blessed by that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm going to have to find another time, and I'll deeply apologize. I'm going to try one more thing because um, I don't know what it is. It's just not there. Let me look here. This PC download documents. It's just not there. Nine one. No. What's this? 910. 913. 915. Um, um, we're gonna have to do this another day. And I deeply apologize. And I pray that it's a blessing to you. Miss Michelle is learning this stuff. And I did tell you in the beginning that I'm not feeling my best, but I give you my best. I love you and I wish you a good day. God bless everybody. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I just woke up, it's a dream world. I just woke up, it's a dream world.
You're now listening to Katano Beat.
Tired of the fussing, tired of the fighting, tired of the hurt, tired of the lying. Hey, I need me a break.
Katano Beat.
I can't keep bending, I might break. It's only so much I can take. Some days don't wanna be awake, but I keep smiling through the pain, no. Oh, I keep smiling through the pain, no. Oh, I keep smiling through the pain, no. Oh, hoping one day to see rainbows. I just keep smiling through the pain, no. I can't keep ending, I might break. It's only so much I can take, yeah. Some days don't wanna be awake, but I'm still smiling through the pain. Oh, I'm still smiling through the pain, no. I'm still smiling through the pain, no. I'm still smiling through the pain, no. I'm hoping one day to see rainbows. Oh, I'm still smiling through the pain. I'm still smiling through the pain. Looking at my life and knowing that it's only rain. Dark clouds and strife and don't nobody care for me. I just hope one day that I can make it out the haze. Hey. Ghetto got me tripping, I've been steady sitting, trying to be patient, waiting for my time to get in it, win it, but it's still a hard life living, so I'm gonna be a minute, gotta wait for all the times where people said I wouldn't get it. So tired of people being fake, they wanna see just what I'm made of. I can't trust none of these haters. I gotta stay up out the way. I'm trying to run it up the paper. This year I just ran out of favors. Go ahead and forget what my name was. Didn't grow too much, I'm not the same, love. Still do too much, you never change, huh? I swear I'm running out of patience. Trying to stay strong but losing faith, yeah. I can't keep bending, I might break. It's only so much I can take, yeah. Some days don't wanna be awake, but I'm still smiling through the pain. Oh, I'm still smiling through the pain, no. I'm still smiling through the pain, no. I'm still smiling through the pain, no. I'm hoping one day to see rainbows. Oh, I'm still smiling through the pain.
You're now listening to Katana Beat. Katana Beat.